What's going on, people? I am Swaver, and this is the Opinionated Facts Media Group podcast. I'm joined by my amazing team, Journey to be Great, Coco Love, and Illuminated Lenses. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good, doing good. How about
Man, y'all,
yourself?
Doing
I'm trying.
well.
That's wonderful. I'm okay too, in case anybody cares about how I feel today. But anyway, I hope that our listeners are doing well also. Thank y'all so much for the continued support. Today, we're going to be talking about Corey Holcomb's remarks about his daughter, and also Coco Love's going to be talking about. What the hell you going to be talking about? I'm gonna edit this. Oh
Where
yeah,
should you meet on the first date?
yeah. Where should you be on the first date? And this is good for men and women, y'all. So we should go right into it. So go ahead, Coco. We're gonna let you start.
All right. So I love the shade room because it always gives me interesting things to think about, talk about, whatever. So this past week, I saw a little snippet, a little screenshot, and at the top of it, it says, "I'm gonna just go ahead and stay single." Okay. And this young lady shared it, and I guess it made its viral rounds. So I'm gonna read this to y'all a little bit. So, like I said, it's just a little screenshot of text messages. So, just to premise this, basically, this young lady was getting to know a guy. But from my understanding of reading this, they have not met in person. Okay. So he says, we can Netflix and chill, LOL. And then he says, nah, but for real, we can chill and watch movies this first time and catch a vibe. Okay. He sent that the day before. And so she didn't respond. So the next day, he says, no reply. And so she comes back and she says, sorry, I was working and then did Instacart all the rest of the day. But why not go out and explore? He says, it's just, I want to meet you in person first before we go
Oh
out. I
yeah.
mean, I barely know you. I barely know what you look like. You didn't even send me pictures of you.
Hold on. How did he know? Just go
I
ahead. I'm
don't
sorry.
know. I don't know. I had a lot of questions too. Okay. So she comes back and she says, yeah, we can meet in person out somewhere else. He said, laugh out loud because I'm not coming to your place and you're not coming to mine. So he replies to that line specifically. I guess that's an iPhone thing, child. I guess I don't know. But he
Hmm.
says, this line is so basic to me. I suggested something and I never asked to come into your place. I have my own and I'm not desperate to have sex with you if that's what you are implying. I just don't go out in public with women until I've spent time with them one on one. She says, well, then call me a basic bitch, I guess. But we both aren't comfortable with what we prefer. So let's try and find a compromise. He says, okay. And she said, is that an issue? He said, no, it just seems like a bit much, don't you think? She says, no, I was just trying to find a way for us to meet in the middle. I felt that that's a reasonable thing to ask. But for sure, if that's how you feel, that's okay. We both no longer have to worry about it. Have a great rest of your week. And that was it. So it's several things here. But from what I gathered from here is he was either trying to be cheap and didn't want to spend money on her. He said he didn't know what she looked like. I don't know how he found her or how they came to meet if he didn't know what she looked like. And then he said the infamous line, you didn't even send me pictures, which honestly, that would have been the end of it for me because that's so annoying to me.
So
But
you
That
want
man want to see what he
somebody,
get.
but you want somebody that you ain't never seen before,
to come to
To
your
come to your
house,
home.
your
So that's
house.
I
You
mean, it's
realize that
crazy.
I'm gonna use that logic. He realized that, say for instance, if she ain't what he expected or whatever, he got a harder time trying to get rid of her at his own place, thinking of an excuse versus if
then
you just
yeah.
went to the park, if you just
What?
went to the park or you just went to like Starbucks or some shit.
But my question is mainly for men, and please leave comments in our in the comments below. I have questions. My first question is, are y'all not concerned about getting got? And when I say getting got, I don't mean by just some ugly woman coming to your house or a woman that is, just not your cup of tea for whatever reason or whatever. I'm not saying that. I mean Tyrone and his folk and them coming up to your house and knocking on your door, maybe even with a nice looking young lady in the front of them. And then they coming in there, bust you upside your head and taking everything you got. Like, are you not concerned about getting robbed or anything? Like, I don't understand why men are always so quick to say you can come to my house. She didn't even say anything about sex, but he knew that's what she was thinking because I feel like that's what he was trying to do. Not only that, I feel like he probably is taken, or in a situation, and that's why he doesn't want to be seen out with her. So it was just a lot of red flags there. So she did the right thing to just go on about her business because they're not willing to compromise, and he can go be cheap and do all of that with somebody else. But it
Well,
was so many
to be
questions, like y'all
to
said.
be to be fair, I'm not necessarily defending it, but at the same time, it's no different in going with somebody later after you meet them in the club or something.
And that's
Men's
true
also
too. And
dangerous.
yeah,
Now,
it is. It is.
I'm not taking nobody home after going somewhere with somebody, at the club and I just met them or something like that. But I'm just saying in general, it's kind of the same vibe. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, you saying they eventually gonna end up there anyway, and you still ain't gonna really know them that well. So I guess it wouldn't make no difference if they met you before the club or after. I see what you're saying.
If you do
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
if
But
you
you know what? Let's
don't,
just be honest too, man. Just because a man, I think sometimes too, we got to also look at the value here, man. I mean, if you go take a woman out or something like that, I can see his point of view too. Now, as far as like meeting at the house, not necessarily, but
Yeah, you can
you know,
still go to
a public
somewhere
place.
without having to come straight to your home.
yeah,
Right.
he probably was trying to smash, man. He wanted to get him one off real
Yeah,
quick, but
because it
hey,
just didn't make any sense. I understand not taking her to some expensive restaurant, you know what I'm saying, to meet for the first time. I completely get that. Y'all could meet up at the park. It's usually free. Y'all could meet up to get some coffee, some ice cream. I mean, it's a lot of things you could do to meet for the first time if you're not comfortable with quote unquote going out in public with her. So it really didn't make any sense to me.
okay.
I mean,
Hey,
really, it ain't really too many people that's like that type of person where they got it like that to where they got people just wanting to come over, for the first time or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, unless you just look like I don't know, hell, you know what I'm saying? Unless you look like real, real good, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what dude that a good bit of women would say, like, okay, they're really attractive or whatever. But I'm saying you got to be kind of like that to even think. And even still, like, it don't matter how attractive you are.
to a certain extent, these women want the same thing men want. They just have to play the game because they don't want people thinking that, oh, he's gonna think I'm a whore. I mean, she really might be, but at the end of the day, she just don't want people to think that. I mean, let's just
But
be real, man.
but still though, I'm saying is that you have to put in some effort of I don't want to say I don't know, young folks be talking about which I'm not old, but they talking about like rears and shit like that. I'm saying you have to put in some type of game. You know what I mean? Like you gotta spark the interest in some type of way. You know what I mean?
Well, if she gave you her number and she talking to you, you just spark some type of interest.
Usually.
Well, yeah, yeah, okay,
Unless
I
you
Well,
see
one of
that.
them, dudes that chase people down in the parking lot and won't take no for an answer, then she might have just gave you her number so she can go about her business and block you later. But
I'm just
all
saying
right
that
then, we're
in
gonna.
general, you got to put in some effort.
Uh,
That's all I'm saying.
well, yeah.
My
okay, let's move on over to Corey Holcomb now. Goddamn. All right. What we got? What we got? What we got, Journey?
Hori Holcomb.
Whatever his name is, one of the motherfuckers. What we got, Journey?
So, Corey Holcomb, the comedian, on his podcast, he made some pretty harsh remarks about his daughter. I don't know the other side of it, but I don't know if it's come from just her mom was bitter or did he have some type of deadbeat in him? But anyway, on the show, he was talking about his daughter called him and she only calls because she wants something. And when she called, she started off with, I know you hate my mama. And he was like, I don't hate your mama. I don't talk to your mama. I don't deal with her. Your mama was full of drama. And he was like, years later, you're just like your mom. Elf, you and your mom, pretty much.
Damn.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he
all right
that
then.
just straight like that. Referred to his daughter as a bitch, and
Oh.
again, he said he can make another daughter because he was like he doesn't have time for
Yeah,
the drama, and even his mom chimed in with saying like that's your daughter. It's like you might need her one day, and he was like if I ever need her, I'm effing done. So he was just pretty harsh, and he was just like
hell, it ain't even about needing at that point. My bad. Go ahead.
yeah.
I keep interrupting.
But yeah, he was just pretty much was just like he doesn't have any time for any drama whatsoever. And regardless if it's his daughter or not, he doesn't have time for it. He has no problem not including her in his life. Again, that's just his point of view. I don't know how the daughter and the mother feels. But I don't know what y'all think. Because, like I said, I get how the bitter baby mama things can go. He admitted that, he never even liked her mom like that. Just, they kind of got together, had sex, and made a daughter. And he was like, he
Right.
tried to be there, but he was like, F it. So I don't know. I don't
Well, you
know
know
their
what?
side of the story.
You know what? That's a good point that you made. Like, you're gonna train what you get. That's what I
Yeah.
realized. So if you create a situation like that, and let's just say, for example, what happens with a lot of men when they're not inside the home, you adjust to life being outside the home. Does that make sense? I think that's why women have better relationships with their children sometimes, because they're with their children all the time. Whereas
Right.
if you are a man and you're distant from your children, you grow distant. So you have to think, yeah, you could try, and yeah, you can. But I said this before on a previous podcast. If you drive trucks and you're away from home and your kids are always at home with the mom, obviously the mom's going to have a better connection with the children than you. So even if you want that connection, you can't have it due to the circumstances. So I think that we also have to remember too that some men are just frustrated, they're bitter because maybe they wanted to be there. And I think after a certain amount of time, it's easy for you to say, oh, he should have did this and he could have did that. But really at the end of the day, it just depends on the circumstance. So I would say, I don't know, that just not give him a right to call his daughter a bitch or the mother a bitch. I don't agree with that. But I'm just saying you have to look at these things from different perspectives instead of just being so, oh, he did this, because you don't know what she said to him.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know their side of the story. It was just to hear someone actually speak about their child that way. That kind of got me.
Yeah, he
Right.
wouldn't have to worry about me calling his ass no more. I know that. And I don't know how old she is, and if she, that's just awful. Like, I wish I knew, like,
That is.
had more information about how old she was or whatever. But and as the mother, once I hear this little podcast that he was on or whatever, and hear him saying that, like, my baby wouldn't call him anymore, because like, you're not finna be out here talking about me and my child. Like, me is one thing, you know what I'm saying? I have a problem with that too. But you talking about my baby, like the child that didn't do anything to you, like, that's very childish, amongst
It's
other
imma-
things.
it's
Well,
very it's immature.
he did say that all she do is call him for stuff. So now again, we don't know all the details. But if you are a man and you are working and you're trying to get things done and you don't have a relationship with the mom, and the only time your kids call you is when they want something, you got to take that into consideration too.
Yeah, definitely. But that's not a reason to call her a bitch or her mother a bitch. Even if you
I
felt
agree.
like her mother was that. I mean, and sometimes I understand women don't make it pleasant for men to be in their child's life. So as we stated, we do not know the other side. So she could have been difficult. She could be a bitch. We don't know. But you shouldn't be talking about the mother of your child to your child, or whatever. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or just
And
using that.
vice versa too, because I know
Yeah.
women that do that. So.
No matter how
Well,
you feel about the other parent, like, if they're doing what they, even if they're not, I just don't feel like you should paint that picture of that child's other parent, no matter what.
But
You know what I'm saying?
even if she's still in the wrong though, he had no reason to act like that. There's people that try to be in their kid's life and they get shut out and they don't react like that. So anyway it goes, regardless of what she did, he was being immature. And honestly, he probably was more so at fault, because just basing on the way he was acting and
Yeah.
everything like that. I mean, somebody can be crazy, but it's also, what did you do to bring that out? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I see what you're saying, but you got to think about that though. He said they both had sex with each other. Well, from what we understand, they just had sex and just had a child. So he probably had no connection to her either. So we can't just automatically assume it was some type of love at first sight and they just all, because that's not what happened.
But I understand that, and that's cool. But just like how she laid down to have sex with him, he laid down to have sex with her. So whatever she brings at that point, you play half of that role in it because you went along with it, you know? So if she's crazy or if she doing this or if she doing that, those are the consequences you have when you just lay down with somebody that you probably didn't know for real, and you just having sex with them. I mean, that's what happens.
He's just as much at fault as she is. The only person that's not at fault in the situation is the daughter, who's getting talked about like a dog on somebody's podcast.
I can see what y'all saying. And I want to know from our listeners, y'all letting people pull up first date, first text, or first few texts? Y'all letting somebody pull up? And also, we want to know, Corey Holcomb, do you think he was wrong for saying what he said about his daughter? I mean, clearly, me and my team, we do. But we just want to know y'all comments down below if y'all decide to comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We appreciate this continued support. I am Swaver, joined by Journey to be Great, Coco Love, Illuminating Lenses. This is the Opinionated Facts Media Group Podcast. Until next time, peace. I figure out how to stop this shit from recording. Hold on. Oh, there it is.